Trump's silence on the Epstein files just got torched by Rep. Jasmine Crockett. In a fiery MSNBC interview, she slammed Trump for refusing to release critical documents, saying he's clearly hiding something. The public's demanding answers, and Jasmine Crockett isn't backing down. With mounting pressure and a growing list of questions, this scandal is far from over. Jasmine Crockett is lit. Check her out.
Today, Charlie Kirk joined the growing chorus of right-wing podcast bros complaining about Trump's lack of transparency about the Epstein files, just hours after the president called them past supporters and weaklings falling for what he called a Democratic hoax. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, serves on the Judiciary Committee, where Democrats are calling for Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify about Epstein. She joins me now. Well, Congresswoman, what do you make of all this?
I mean, it's interesting to hear the right explain why it is that they want to hear. I want to hear because clearly you got something to hide, Mr. President. So that's why I want to hear. I want the swamp, right, to be drained. OK, listen, let me use their language. We know that he had this ongoing relationship with Epstein. They were basically like besties. We know that there are allegations that a lot of the recruitment took place down at Mar-a-Lago. We know that there are even young ladies that said that they were sexually abused and or sexually assaulted. We know that this is someone who has been found liable of sexual abuse by a jury of his peers. So, I mean, this is also a guy who seemingly doesn't really necessarily care if somebody engages in these types of activities. So I know he's got something to hide. That's the only reason it's not out there. If this had anything to do with Democrats, baby, it would have been on day one. That promise would have been fulfilled. But he wanted access to those files, and he wanted to see how bad it looked for him. And unfortunately, after having a glimpse, I think he's decided that he just wants to move on and talk about something else.
So I just want to be clear. By the way, I have no idea. Everything you recited there is true, including the allegation you said there's a woman of age, I should note, who talked about being introduced to Trump by Jeffrey Epstein and then being groped by Trump against, non-consensually. That was reported out, talked to the press and the Guardian. So I want to be clear about that. She was of age. She was, I think, 23 at the time. She was a model. So all those things that you listed there are facts, their association. Him being found liable of what was the term they used? Sexual assault, I guess, in that civil jury. Allegations against him, of course. All of that's established. Well, what you're saying is you think there actually is something. I mean, I have no idea. You think there's something in the file that incriminates him.
I do. Listen, this guy isn't above board. I mean, I think you're kidding yourself if you believe that he is. So, no, I absolutely believe that if he thought for just 2 seconds he could hurt anybody but himself, then absolutely we would have the files. And so it does look a little murky. I think it is why the Democrats are all on board, because, this is a guy who has made his own admissions. If you remember the tape where he talked about groping women, right? So, honestly, I think that his loyalists will stay with him regardless. This is a guy who said he could go out and kill somebody and they would still be with him. So I'm sure they would come up with an excuse for why it's okay for him to maybe be involved in the Epstein files. But they want to know about everybody else. They believe that there's so many Democrats that are in this, and that's why it is that they want to see it. But it's interesting, while they are taking away health care, while they are taking away farmers' access to be able to do what they do, which is to make money, while they are getting rid of people's food access, and while inflation is on the rise, and while this tariff war is not reducing anybody's prices for anything, it's amazing that this is the thing that has stirred them up. But I'm going to let them stir. Stir.
I should note that the civil jury found sexual abuse was the finding of that civil jury. I want to play for you what the committee chair of Judiciary, Jim Jordan, was saying about the possibility of bringing some of the relevant principals here, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, before that Judiciary Committee to explain themselves. Take a listen.
I have complete confidence in President Trump and his team. We've been working on this prior to this whole Epstein issue this last week and a half. But there's an annual trek that the Attorney General, and you know this, Chris, the Attorney General and the FBI Director make to Capitol Hill in front of the Judiciary Committee.
So it sounds like he's going to wait until that annual testimony, but they are going to have to come and talk to your committee at some point.
I guess. I mean, listen, Chris, we are in month 7. You know, like I know, that we are on recess in August. So we got about 3 months. Right? I mean, you know, they're not rushing to come and see us. And I wonder why. They seem to always be a little intimidated, specifically in judiciary, when it comes to judiciary Dems and how it is that we are able to frame our questions and get information out or highlight the fact that they are basically just hypocrites. I don't anticipate that Pam Bondi would be a forthright witness in front of us. And I think she probably is concerned as well, knowing that there are real attorneys on this committee. She may be afraid of stepping into a little bit of poo with some of her answers.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett sits on the Judiciary Committee. We'll see if they get a chance to talk to anyone. Appreciate you coming on tonight.
This is No Filter News. Truth served raw, bold, and uncut. Hit that sub, stay loud, and catch us on the next drop. We don't fade out. We level up.